Okay, so this is lesson 2.2 in Everyday Math, 3rd grade, using basic facts to solve fact extensions. So you fill in the unit box and you complete the fact extensions. For the unit, the cool thing about this is you get to pick anything you want. Okay? You could pick footballs, or you could pick erasers, or basketballs. You get to put anything in here. For unit, if it says unit, do not write plus or minus. This is not the unit. Okay, the unit is like footballs, or kittens. Some of you like to write kittens. That's the unit, okay? That kind of thing. Look right up at the screen, please. Look right up where my hand is so that you can see the lesson. My hand's right up here. Okay? Good. So, for the first part of this, you are going to try to just, again, do these basic facts. So the first basic fact for number 1, it says 12 minus 7. Okay? It's a basic fact, so I know the answer is 5. Personally, I like to set it up like this. 12 minus 7. So if that's easier for you to think about, you can rewrite that. Okay? You can rewrite it so that it makes more sense to you. It's going to equal 5. So, again, just like I talked about on your homework, a really cool thing, guys, when you're doing addition and subtraction, and this is very important, so I'd really like you to look right up here so you can see it. Notice how there's zeros on the ends of these numbers? Do you notice that? Give me a thumbs up, a thumb sideways, or a thumbs down if you're noticing the zeros. Okay, I'm not seeing any thumbs. Okay, good. Wonderful. All right. Now, tell me how many zeros is on the end of this number. With your fingers, please. Show me with your fingers. How many zeros is on the end of this number? Okay. How many zeros is on the end of this number? Okay. So, it's the same number of zeros here as the same number of zeros here, right? Mm-hmm. Watch this. I'm going to do something pretty magical. Okay. If I have 120 minus 70, okay, see how this is the same numbers as this? These are the same numbers. Watch what I can do. Watch this. I can cross the same number of zeros off each side. And then I can subtract the numbers that I have left. It's one of the coolest things ever. Okay, it's one of the coolest tricks you're ever going to learn. So watch, then I end up with what? 12 minus 7. And I already did that here, and I got 5. Okay? There's one more step, though. One more little step that you got to remember. Okay? I have to think, how many zeros did I cross off with on each side? Not all together, on each side. How many did I cross off? Show me with your fingers. Okay? Not all together, just on each side. Good. You should be showing me one finger right now. I crossed off one here and one here. I have to add 1 0 back on to get my answer to this. Okay, so 120 minus 70 equals 50. Does my answer make sense? Yes, it does. Okay, if I just left it at 120 minus 70 equals 5, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so you have to think, oh my gosh, I forgot to add a 0 back on. So if you're subtracting, well, zip those zeros right away. 12 minus 7 equals 5. And then, okay, got to put 1 0 back on the answer. And that'll give you your answer. That's one of the coolest things, I think, that we learn in math. If you guys can get a handle on that, you'll be able to add and subtract pretty big numbers that have zeros on the ends of them. Now, if it looked like this, 102 minus 70, you can't do anything with this 0 in the middle. You can't just take it off. Okay? Unfortunate, but you can only do it if it's on the ends. So we want to cross that right out. But now how about this? 1200 minus 700. So if I have 1200 minus 700, I want you to think about that for a sec. What's the first thing you would do to solve that? Think about it for a sec. The first thing you would do to solve that. Think about the zeros. Think about what you would do with those zeros. Okay? Okay, did anybody think that they might try to cross off some zeros to solve it? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm seeing thumbs up, so that's really good. Seeing lots of thumbs up. So this is what I'd do. I'd say Well, I can cross off 2 zeros here and 2 zeros here. Right? I have to cross off the same number on each side. I can't just cross off 1 and then 2. It's got to be the same. Okay? So I'd say 12 minus 7 equals 5. And then, look, I crossed off 2 on this side and 2 on this side. So I've got to add 2 zeros on the end of that. Look, you just did like a hugely big math problem. 1200 minus 700 equals 500. Those are like major numbers, but people will think you're a math whiz. Okay, because you just know how to use the zeros on the end of the numbers. You'll be able to do hugely big numbers. Okay? And just to show you, if it let's say it looked like this. I just want to show you another thing that it might look like. What if it looked like 12,000 minus 70? How many zeros do you think you could cross off on each side? Show me with your fingers. How many zeros do you think you could cross off on each side? Watch. You can only cross off 1 zero on each side. Okay? Because this side's only got 1 zero on it. And there's nothing else to cross off. Okay? So if you're not quite getting it yet, that's okay. But I just wanted to show you, if it's not equal, you can only cross off 1 and 1. And so then you have to do 1,200 minus 7. Okay? So it's like taking 7 away from 200. 1193. 1,193. Okay? So that's the first part of this. That's a subtraction one. You also have some addition ones that you can do. The next piece here, again, for number 4, complete the fact extensions. This is just exactly what we talked about in your homework, basically. If you know how to do 9 plus 7 is 16, then you know how to do 19 plus 7, 69 plus 7. Okay, and you can work on that. For the next part, you're going to use addition or subtraction to complete these problems on your calculator. You may also use a number grid, base 10 blocks, or counters. So if you enter 33 in your calculator and you want to change it to 40, what buttons are you going to push on the calculator? That's what this wants to know. How are you going to get there? All right? And so then the numbers get a lot bigger. But if you can think about using your zeros and your fact extensions, it might make it a little bit easier for you. And then number 9, I really want to know what you guys have to think about this. Why is it important to know the basic addition and subtraction facts? Okay? There's lots of reasons you could choose. Lots and lots of reasons you could choose. But I can certainly think of some reasons. So I'd like you to do page 32, it's lesson 2.2, and do your best with it. And that is using basic facts to solve fact extensions. Okay, and